Imagine being in desperate need of help, only to be turned away by someone sworn to provide it. That's exactly what happened to John, a hardworking man who sought medical attention from a well-respected doctor. But instead of compassion, he was met with cold rejection. The doctor refused to treat him, judging him unfairly based on his appearance and circumstances. Hurt and humiliated, John left, vowing to move on. But fate had other plans. Just one day later, an unexpected twist brought the two men face to face again, this time with the roles reversed. What happened next left the doctor stunned and questioning everything he thought he knew about humanity. This is a story about second chances, powerful lessons, and the surprising ways life teaches us to be better. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. John walked home that evening, his mind swirling with frustration and sadness. All he had wanted was a bit of help, a chance to feel better so he could get back to work and provide for his family. But the doctor's harsh words replayed in his head. "I can't waste my time on someone like you." It wasn't just the refusal that hurt. It was the way the doctor dismissed him, as if he didn't matter. Meanwhile, the doctor went about his day, proud of his success and reputation. To him, John was just another face, another inconvenience in a busy schedule. But life has a strange way of evening things out. That night, the doctor found himself in an unexpected situation, one that would challenge his assumptions and force him to rethink the value of kindness. Later that night, the doctor was driving home after a long day when his car suddenly broke down on a quiet, deserted road. Frustrated, he tried to fix the issue, but it was no use. His phone had no signal, and the road was eerily silent. As minutes turned into hours, worry started to creep in. The once confident doctor now felt helpless, stranded, and alone. Out of the darkness, headlights appeared. A truck pulled over, and a man stepped out. It was John. He recognized the doctor immediately, but didn't say a word. Instead, he offered to help. The doctor hesitated, unsure if he could trust him. John calmly began working on the car, his quiet determination leaving the doctor in silence. Little did he know, this encounter was about to change everything. As John worked quietly under the dim glow of the truck's headlights, the doctor's unease grew. The roles were now reversed. He was the one in need, entirely at the mercy of a man he had dismissed, without a second thought, just the day before. Every turn of the wrench felt like a reminder of his harsh words and hasty judgment. John spoke little, his focus entirely on the task. But his calm demeanor made the silence feel heavier. The doctor wanted to apologize, to explain, but the words wouldn't come. Instead, he stood there, feeling a growing sense of shame. Just as John finished tightening the last bolt, another car approached, its lights casting long shadows. The tension in the air thickened. Was this fate giving the doctor another lesson, or something more unexpected? The approaching car slowed to a stop, its headlights illuminating the scene. A man stepped out, and his expression shifted from concern to recognition as he looked at John. It was a colleague from John's workplace, someone who knew about the struggles John had been facing. "What are you doing out here so late?" the man asked, glancing between John and the doctor. John hesitated, clearly debating how much to reveal. "Just helping someone who needed it," he replied simply, brushing off the question. But the colleague wasn't satisfied. He turned to the doctor, whose discomfort was palpable. "Funny," the man said, his tone sharper now. "Because I heard this same doctor refuse to help John yesterday. And now here you are, relying on him. Life has an interesting way of turning the tables, doesn't it?" The doctor stood frozen, his pride clashing with the weight of his guilt. John, however, remained calm. "It's fine," he said, his voice steady. "Everyone deserves a little help, no matter who they are." His words hung in the air, cutting through the tension like a blade. The doctor swallowed hard, finally finding the courage to speak. "John, I'm sorry," he said, his voice breaking. "I shouldn't have judged you. I was wrong, and I'm grateful you didn't turn me away tonight." John nodded but didn't reply. Instead, he handed the doctor his car keys. "You're good to go now," he said quietly, turning toward his truck. As the doctor started his car, he noticed something on the passenger seat. A small note from John that read, "Asterisk kindness costs nothing but means everything asterisk." The doctor drove away, his heart heavy but changed, realizing that John's silent lesson would stay with him forever. As the doctor drove home, the note sat beside him, its words echoing in his mind. He realized he had been so consumed by his success that he had forgotten the core of his profession, compassion. That night, he couldn't sleep. The image of John, quietly helping without bitterness or expectation, stayed with him. The next morning, the doctor decided to make a change. He reached out to John, inviting him to the clinic for a proper checkup, free of charge. John accepted with a smile, not out of need, but as a gesture of understanding. From that day on, the doctor approached every patient differently, seeing each as a person with a story. And though their lives moved forward, both men carried a shared lesson, a reminder of how one act of kindness can inspire a lifetime of change.